Dip a little bit of bread in there. Oh, that one always hits the spot.
Sure, that's genius Dubai in action. Come to Dubai.
Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Quizine TV, where we quiz the cuisine. This time we're back in the Middle East, dining like kings in the food haven that is Dubai. Over the years, this part of the Gulf has welcomed people from all over the world, and with that amalgamation of cultures, the culinary scene has exploded with creativity and energy. Amidst the grand buildings and bold displays of development, we make our way through Dubai's inroads to bring you an authentic taste of the Emirates. Join us on this culinary expedition. Our first stop is for some breakfast. Alright guys, we are now at Arabian Tea House for some amazing traditional Emirati breakfast. This place is packed always with locals, actual Emirati locals, which in and of itself is a bit of a rarity because of all the mix, that beautiful eccentric mix of people that come to Dubai, travel to Dubai and live in Dubai. But this is one of the establishments that has actual locals coming in because the food here is very traditional, very homely and very Emirati. So it's actually difficult to find that around this part of town. So we're very, very happy that we've come across this place and we're able to sort of try traditional Emirati foods. So we've got a variation of different things here. We've got two different types of breakfast platters, as it were. One is the traditional Emirati breakfast, and on it you've got a range of different things. You've got clotted cream and honey, you've got a type of jam, an apricot jam, you've got black honey, you've got cheese, three different types of beans, and you've got vermicelli, an egg, so almost like a rice. And then here we've got some incredible liver. So this is a mix, a hodgepodge of spiced liver with some what looks like sweet potato. And again, this is a very, very traditional food item that they have across the Gulf. It's very common across the Gulf, also super popular in Yemen, but the Emiratis love it here as well. And the sort of utensil that you use to have all this incredible food is brilliant forms of bread that we've got here. You've got three types of bread. So you've got one which is almost like a puri but not fried, it's smaller. You've got pancakes, these look absolutely incredible. And then you've got the traditional kind of flatbread that you'd expect to have in a Middle Eastern establishment. These guys are super, super nice. They brought out a heart-shaped bread, they know, mate, for us. They know we're lovers of Emirati food. So look, that's a very nice little touch from them. Enough chit chat, I'm gonna tuck in. We're gonna go in straight away for the liver, and I'm gonna actually have it with some pancake. Of the pancake is for the sweet stuff, but I like mixing and matching. So let's get a little bit of the liver. It's spiced, a lot of spice here, which is always good, because I've always said in the past, when it comes to sweetbreads, if you don't spice them up properly, they can be quite gamey and disastrous. But this looks like it's going to be adequately spiced. Oh, oh yeah, that's very, very good. You get a wonderful sweetness from that potato, and the liver is actually spiced to perfection. It's got quite a bit of cumin in it, a lot of sort of Emirati spices, so it cuts through all the gaminess. The texture it's actually quite chewy. It's not incredibly soft, but actually that consistency I think works quite well with liver. It's actually very, very delicious, and there's an array of flavors on my tongue there. First time I've tried liver in this form, in this sort of Khaliji way, and I've got to say it's absolutely delicious. I'm going to get a little bit of this hummus as well, because this looks quite nice. A very, very silky hummus sprinkled with a little bit of sumac, and you've got those whole chickpeas and some olive oil there as well. Oh, that is delicious. That is absolutely delicious. Silky, smooth, satisfying, comforting, as a good hummus should be. Alright, I'm going to move on now to the main one. Now, this is the selection of the Emirati breakfast. I love having breakfast across the Middle East because it's almost like a tapas style thing. They mix up all sorts of different food items and they don't hold back on mixing spicy, salty with sweet. So you can see here we've got jam, we've got cream, but we've also got beans. We've also got some baked beans that have made their way, a British national favourite of baked beans. Who knows, maybe we poached it from here. So just a selection of beans, and then you've got vermicelli rice with some egg as well. So again, we're going to go in with some bread. I think I'm going to start with these beans because these are effectively the sort of beans that you have when you make fool, but it's unpummeled. As you can see here, it's in a very, very raw form. Not much sauce actually there, it's just slow cooked until it's soft. So let's see how that goes. It's a very hearty bean. It's like a giant kidney bean. The taste is quite nice, very hearty, very comforting. Not much flavour at all, there's not much spice, but I guess when you're mixing around with so many different things, you can make it work. I'm going to dip it into a little bit of the black honey because I want to absolutely mess around my taste buds. So this black honey is a form of date molasses basically. It's very common actually across the Indian subcontinent, but they have it across the Middle East too. Oh, that is delicious. So sweet. It's almost like a unrefined sugar, you know. It's got, before it's been crystallized and processed, it's just a raw form of sweetness and that lovely, almost thick, licorice-like texture that surrounds it. It's very, very, very delicious. We're gonna have some clotted cream and honey. Again, a very, very popular thing across the Middle East. Super common in the form of a Turkish breakfast as well, which we've had many times. Dip a little bit of bread in there. Oh, that one always hits the spot. There's something about honey and clotted cream that work in perfect harmony, because the clotted cream isn't actually that sweet. The honey is wonderful and sweet, and the clotted cream is almost neutral, but the texture is very, very creamy, and they just work. It's such a beautiful synthesis, absolutely delicious. I'm going to try the egg and the vermicelli now. Vermicelli rice, some egg. This is, I guess, the sort of main savoury sort of dish that we have here. Ooh.
Is it sweet, vermicelli?
That's very interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
The vermicelli is sweet. I wasn't expecting that. I thought the vermicelli was going to taste more like sort of plain, a bit more like a rice, but it's actually sweet. But the egg is a sort of traditional breakfast omelette that you have anywhere in the world. But matched up with that vermicelli is actually quite interesting, because I've never actually had vermicelli in a sweet, dry form before. So that is actually very delicious, and actually it partners up with the egg quite well. Very, very delicious. I'm going to try this jam. I don't know what kind of jam it is yet. It's something yellow. It could be pineapple, could be apricot. Let's find out and see. A bit of this in there. I have no idea what that is. It's actually just a very, very sweet jam. I thought I'd get some sort of fruity flavour from it, be it pineapple, be it apricot, but there's not really much of a fruity taste to it. It's literally just a sweet jam. But again, you've got a lovely selection of sweet things. There's a few selection of savoury things, and they all actually complement each other really well. I'm going to try this final chickpea. This is almost like a raw hummus, because it's chickpeas and it's not blended. Again, it's similar form to the bean we tried earlier. It's just effectively just boiled, nothing else to it. Oh. That is just comfort. Those beans are so comforting, so wholesome, so filling, and honestly they don't really need that much flavour or spice. They work beautifully well you know, unadulterated on the bread. Array of different flavors. We've got cheese there, we've got beans here as well. It's like a selection of loads of different things. Your taste bud will be bouncing around as you have this, and it's very, very sort of filling, very, very comforting. You can have this breakfast and certainly go about your day. I mean, we talk about the all-day breakfast in the UK, but this to me is really and truly the all-day breakfast. Absolutely delicious, beautiful. I'm gonna move on very, very briefly to this sensation here. This is the Emirati coffee. Now, coffee, very, very popular, of course, around the Gulf is where it was founded. It was founded obviously in Ethiopia all those years back. The coffee is wonderfully, it's light. It's not, you know, as dark as you'd expect coffee to be, and it's served up with some dates. Again, a very, very traditional Middle Eastern snack. They absolutely love dates here. So, bit of coffee. Let's take a sip of this. Ooh. That's very, very interesting. It's not super, super strong, not super pungent. The coffee sort of flavor is quite light, but there's a caramel-esque cinnamon type aftertaste to it. I think that's probably the flavor, the natural flavor of the Emirati coffee bean. It tastes very, very nice. It doesn't sort of give you a hit as you take a sip. It's quite light and refreshing, but honestly, super, super delicious. I'm gonna try these dates. I'm used to having dates that are a lot drier than this, but I mean, this feels quite plump. It almost feels like there's water in it. Yeah, usually the dates that I have are just sort of crinkled up like a prune. Here we go. Oh my god. Look at the inside of that. That's like a date I've never had before. It's super, super plump on the inside. Not dry at all. I think this is a date that, you know, has been taken away from the sun, relatively young. It's not crinkled, it's not disheveled. It's actually more like an actual plum. It's delicious. Still retains the sweetness though. Texture is nice and soft. Very, very delicious, and partners up with the coffee quite well. I can see why they don't naturally put sugar in this straight away, because if you have it with the date, you get all the sweetness you need. Look, all in all, absolutely delicious. A lovely spread of actual Emirati food. Remember, this place is a hot spot. This place is enjoyed by people all over the world. Lots of people come here for holiday, to live here, to stay here, and as a consequence, they've adapted, they've changed. There's everything on offer. Every sort of cuisine in the world you'll find in Dubai. But if you want to try the traditional Emirati stuff, you come to Arabian Tea House. This place is delicious.